YouTube. Hope everybody's doing well out there. For sure. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Tony Harvin Network. I greet everybody upon this evening. This here is another Let's Talk About It video. In general, you know what I mean, or whatever y'all want to talk about. For the most part, I know my disclaimer. I'm not a pastor preacher. I don't hold any type of office in the church. So please do not lay claims of those titles on me. We're not here to violate any type of community guidelines, any type of copyright infringement, or any type of privacy guidelines at all. Shout out to everybody who's going to join us live now, in the middle, and those who are going to check it out when it uploads to YouTube. It's Friday. I hope everybody is doing well for the most part. Shout out to everybody who's supporting the YouTube channel. Supporting the Facebooks, TikToks, and all that, the YouTubes, whatever platforms we got out there that we pushing these videos, pushing these lives, whatever the case may be. Definitely appreciate y'all for the support in general. Shout out to all my moderators out there. Definitely appreciate y'all work that y'all do, whether on YouTube, on Facebook, whatever the case may be. What's up, the Drago? Shout out to the people in the background people, the low riders. Shout out to the screen recorders out there. It's Friday. We're here to talk questions and answers. Questions and answers. What y'all want to talk about? You understand? Time in, time out. You know, when we have our topics, you know, folks have different type of questions. You know, this is why I have these type of videos. If you had questions throughout the week, here it is. This is the video. Whatever's on your mind, people out and people in the background. If you don't like me, let me know. Anybody who don't like me, listen. You don't have to hide. You don't have to hide your feelings or whatever's on your mind. Let me know. Let me know. If you hate me, if you don't like me, say it. You know? And why? Why don't you like me? I open the floors to the haters because I'm pretty sure some of them be in the background as the backstabbers. You know, the people who smile in your face and talk about you behind your back. Why you don't like me? Huh? Speak. Now is the time for those individuals to speak, because I give people the opportunity to speak. If you got any type of dislikes, anything. You know, if you're in the background, well, Tony Harvin this, Tony Harvin that. Say it here. Don't go talking to other individuals and saying little things behind, you know, a person's back. Say it here. You understand? We straight. I'm straightforward here. Straightforward. You know? What's up to John Smith? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. I know a few individuals sent me a video this week about some old woodpecker false prophet. A woodpecker. That's it. You know, that's how I look at them fellas. You know, I don't show them no type of attention at all. You know? What's up to Bless? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. What's up to Sunshine? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. He says, I pray all are well. God bless. Blessings to everyone. What's up to Jay Williamson? Shout out to you. He said, what is this chat about? Read the title. Now, I don't know what devices certain people be on, what phones y'all be on, or whatever the case may be. But I don't know why they ask, what is the topic, or what is the chat about, when the title is right there. I mean, unless you're on a device where as though it doesn't show, let me know, because I don't know. What's up to Justice Power? Shout out to you. What's up to SV? You know, YouTube recommended me a video. DJ Vlad. DJ Vlad. And guess who's on it? Take a wild guess. Take a wild guess who's on DJ Vlad. A wild one. Mr. Vegas. Imagine that. That might turn into Gino going on DJ Vlad. Wouldn't that be something? Unless Mr. Vegas don't talk about that. You know, because they recommended part 1 to his interview. I didn't check it out. You understand? But now he's going to go around and do these interviews and whatnot. Mr. Vegas. DJ Vlad had to stoop that low. And Vlad is an atheist. Vlad is an atheist. You know what I mean? When DJ Vlad mentioned that he was an atheist, that I found out weeks ago, I'm like, should I be listening to this fella? Should I be listening to his interviews being that he's an atheist? You know? What's up to Brother Jonah? Shout out to you. What's up to Marcia? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Gwendolyn. Justice Power. Tanya Bond. All right. Kevin, he says, everybody has their own beliefs. I believe in anything that can be proven with logic. That's you. That's you. Help yourself. Help yourself. You're going to die one day, though. You understand? Let's see if you keep that same mindset when you die. That's all I got to say about that. You know what I mean? Just know you're going to die one day. Just like me. You know what I mean? And I don't have that mindset. It's far from that. Far. What's up to Willa Boyd? You said, what's up? He says, here you go. Why do haters, violators, perpetrators, duplicators, procrastinators, you know, the people that have an ice pick waiting on you to turn your back? He says, the oops, there he go. Well, you know, you got a lot of fake people out here. You know, they laugh in your face. And, you know, a lot of people feed off that type of stuff in general. I don't know why. I don't, you know, but some people are scumbags. You understand? They have the personality. The characteristics is like that. Wicked. Backstabbers. You understand? All right? Look at this guy. Mr. Smith, Brooklyn. What up, Wayne Smith? Brooklyn. Zab Judah. Berlanga. Shannon Briggs. Right? Brooklyn. He says, can you name a real prophet besides from TOG? No. No, I can't. I'm not saying that there ain't none out here. But me personally, I can't name none. That's alive you're talking about. If you're talking about alive, I can't name none. At Mr. Smith. So, I don't know any other real prophets out here. Not saying that there ain't no more. He said, what happened to Zab Judah? Nothing. I was just saying that because Smith is from Brooklyn. I was just naming a few people from Brooklyn. Zab, Shannon Briggs, Berlanga, you know. Who else is from Brooklyn? Stephon Marbury. Lance Stevenson. You know, Sebastian Telfair. You know? All right. What's up to Mr. Dunbar, Shirley House? Jim Juice, Mr. Ham, Sister Monica. SV says, Mr. Vegas, was it a clip of him being ushered out? Nah, it's an interview. DJ Vlad, you know how DJ Vlad, you know, he don't put the whole interview out fully. He just do certain parts. And I just thought, I just saw part 1. I didn't watch the video, but I just saw that YouTube advertised it. You know what I mean? So throughout all the parts, I'm pretty sure that DJ Vlad and his team, they viewed that. That was one of Mr. Vegas, one of his most highest highlights of his career. Looking like a fool. You understand? Gino P says, he says, background people is wild. Peace to everyone. Appreciate that at Gino P. Shout out to you for sure. Thank you for the support of this YouTube channel. Yeah, that's what I think about that fella. Yeah, I mean, I won't mention his name or nothing. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for the YouTubers from the TOG or those who support the Truth of God. They talk about them. They mention their names. They put their names in the thumbnail. They're looking for attention. I mean, who sits around talking about men all day for hours? When I seen the video, the thumbnail just had a bunch of men. A bunch of men sitting there 3-4 hours or 2 hours or whatever, talking about men all day. That's crazy, man. Listen, take me off your mind. Seriously. You know? All right. What's up to, what is that? To me, what's up to Southern Express? Jen Ju said DJ Vlad is a clown. Dunbar said, there's an atheist that I watch only so I can study what they believe. I must put scripture as my truth teller and what they say for sure. Yeah, studying for like educational purposes, you know, studying, not saying that you're interested in it, but, you know, seeing what they believe, whether it's like the Mormons or the Muslims or anything like that. That part is cool. You understand? All right. Mr. Ham says, can he logically prove there is no... Boss says, I would rather someone laugh in my face than backstab me. Smith, I answered that. Bless says, he says, Brother Tony, Seek Holiness mentioned in one of his lives that he would like to do a collab with you. I didn't know if you knew or not. Seek Holiness, who's that? Seek Holiness. What is that person's, let me see if I can find him on YouTube. Seek Holiness. What is his, okay, I see. Oh, I know him. Yeah, I just spoke with him on Facebook. I know him. I know I know Angelo, I forgot his name, D'Angelo, whatever. You understand? I know him. We spoke about, a week and a half ago, I think. You know, I thought you were talking about somebody else, you know, but I know him. Yeah, D'Angelo, Contrell. Yeah, we speak. You understand? You know, we'll see what we can come up with. You know what I mean? What ideas we can come up with, and whatnot. You know, that'll be a good collaboration. And, he does the Truth of God movies and things like that. You know, it's a lot of talent. It's a lot of talent and skill in the Truth of God. You got singers out here. Those who can sing. If you can't sing, sit down. You know, people been standing up trying to sing. You know what I mean? Please don't do it. You won't find me standing up doing praise and testimony. I ain't standing up singing. No. I give a testimony, but I ain't singing. No way. Now you singing within what's going on in songs and stuff like that. But if you are wanting to sing and you don't know how to, a solo, don't do it. We understand your sincerity and things like that. Don't do it. Just because, okay, I'm singing for the Lord, that's cool. You won't find me trying to sing. That's not me. You know what I mean? And some people be overdoing it. Some of the ministers like, listen, you got to sit down now. That's enough. Shout out to those ministers out there. When folks try to overdo it, listen, that's enough. Or they take the mic away. Ain't that something? That's funny. All right, but you got a lot of skills. You got a lot of talent out here. People can sing, write poetry, do videos, photos, and stuff like that. A lot of talent. Make clothes, create things like logos and stuff like that. Give financial advice like Mark Moretti, Evangelist Taj, and there was another brother who does that too. So it's a lot of talent, and utilize it. Utilize it for the best, for sure. You know what's up with Sister E. Brown. Shout out to you. Hope all is well. He says Michael Jordan from Brooklyn at Smith. I think he is. I think he was born and raised. He was born in Brooklyn, right? I don't see it on. Let me see. Wikipedia got it. Yep, Brooklyn, New York. You're right. But then he merged over to North Carolina and whatnot. But you're right about that. Born in Brooklyn, MJ. Good one. All right. What's up to what is that? Miss Neldo. Shout out to you. Hope all is well. What's up to Gladys, Tanya Bond, Mr. Liggins. Shout out to you, Christopher Span. M90. Shout out to you. I see a lot of trolls on here. Got the trolls on here. What's up to Epic EFP Media? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Oh man, this is crazy. They got the trolls coming out. I wasn't expecting this. He said, Mr. Dunbar says, let me know that Chubby Checker is in TOT. I had no idea until he told me. Oh yeah. I just found that out too. Chubby Checker. I had to research and find out who he was and things like that. You know? Shout out to DeWanda. Shout out to you. Epic says, we used to laugh at people in church. I'm sorry, Lord. I was tickled. It's okay. You know what I mean? Hey. Because some people know they can't sing, but they'll still try to hit high notes and stuff like that. What? I understand now. I understand. But like I said, I know I can't sing. I'm not going to get up and try to sing a solo or try to sing in front of people. No. I'll sing when everybody's singing. You know, when they're singing the preaching of the gospel soon be over, something like that. Or one. I sing with everybody. You understand? So I can blend in. So my voice can blend in. You know? Gladys said, what's the meaning of the purple crown? I don't know. What is that? The purple crown? Oh, you talking about on YouTube? I think it's something that YouTube put up for rankings and stuff like that. You know, I think. I'm not too sure. What's up, Jermaine? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Peter, you says, Malcolm X said we should learn to live as separate groups of people and learn to live on earth together in peace as a mass. But as separate peoples, cooperative separatism is a good thing for America. I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds like Malcolm X said a whole bunch of nothing right there, honestly. You understand? Separate groups of people. Malcolm X, he said some good stuff. But that part, I don't understand. You know? All right, what's up to Sister Nicole? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. He said G Swole is question night. man. Shout out to G Swole. Hey, Peter, I'm not saying that name, man. I'm just going to call you Peter. You talking about Malcolm X with a name like that? And people come on here with foolish names. I'm not saying certain things. I'm not saying they full name like that. No way. Mr. Ham says, these holiness platforms coming, the top rope. I guess you meant coming from the top rope on the haters. That's what you meant at Mr. Ham. Jermaine says, I'm flexible on the singer now. I hit high low. Hey, do your thing. What's up to AG? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Absolutely. At Gin Juice. He says, what up to Herd Wise? Shout out to you. What's up to Jay Williams? You said lay off Malcolm X. Why? Why you say that? I mean, Malcolm was alright. He said some alright stuff, but you know. Mr. Ham said yes, absolutely, and that's good that it's more TOG or holiness platforms that's coming out. Good, because there's a lot of foolish things that's coming out has been out, a bunch of negative stuff. You turn on YouTube, there's more negative stuff than positive things on YouTube, social media in general. You know what I mean? And folks wonder why they having mental health issues or whatever you want to call it. Look at the stuff that they're looking at all day. The people that they are around and stuff like that. You know what I mean? All right? Epic says you're right about that for sure. A bunch of negative stuff. You know what I mean? All right, although I like to watch documentaries or interviews and stuff like that, but so much I wouldn't go past that. You know? All right? Let me see. Span says Malcolm X was an excellent debater and excellent teacher, but he made many mistakes while being in the nation. Absolutely. Jeremy Dunbar said, that's because controversy sells. Trash is loved more than treasure. Ain't that something? Folks love controversy. They love it. You know, they see Tyreek Hill divorcing his wife and she getting a certain amount of money after a little bit of time. They see Birdman and Tony Braxton only married for a little bit of time, and she taking him for a lot of money. They see that stuff. They like that stuff. But when you put on a Truth of God video about those topics, it's an issue. You know what I mean? They like that stuff. They like the drama. Lies and hip hop. Real, what is that? Real Housewives of Atlanta or something like that. They like that stuff. You understand? This fella got 3 or 4 different babies. And he had a wife at home. They got it displayed on TV so the world could see it. And folks is tuned in with popcorn and soda, waiting for the next episode. They love it. You understand? I used to watch Lies and Hip Hop. You understand? I only watched Lies and Hip Hop because I wanted to see this one woman. That's it. I wanted to watch this one woman on Love and Hip Hop years ago. That's it. And I wanted her. How foolish was I? You know what I mean? I dodged a hefty bullet if I was given the opportunity. You know what I mean? A hefty one. You know? All right? Epic says you nasty thing. Well, I was young. Come on, I was young. You don't know better when you're young. You know? Or you wasn't in the truth and stuff like that, and you're foolish. Hey, you see this woman on TV? Wow, man, she's bad. She got a nice body, she's pretty. The woman was Carly Rae. Now look at her. Now look at her. You know? Dodged a hefty bullet. You know? Hefty. All right? Jim Juice says, them trolls will come for your head in red hat. You said it's because of Malcolm. Yeah, them Muslims out there. What's up to M90? He says in social media they mix negative and positive stuff, so you got to get use of it. Just like in the world, there is holiness and sin. Understandable. It's a mixture. But that people cling to more is negative stuff. They cling to more negative stuff, but yet they want to complain about mental health issues. They want to complain about what's going on up here. You know what I mean? But they don't want to stop polluting their minds with negative stuff. You know what I mean? They want to keep watching this foolish things on TV or foolish stuff on social media. You know what I mean? People putting up, videos of people getting killed, shot. They're putting these AI stuff up too. Saying people is dead and stuff like that. Hoping and wishing bad on people. Not wishing, but hoping. Putting that on people. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure y'all seen the AI videos and stuff like that with Gino. And things like that. You know, these people are crazy out here, especially with these AIs. This AI stuff is crazy. You know what I mean? People could do a whole lot of things with AI. You know what I mean? You could have a whole wife. You could have a whole wife and then set you up. You have a whole AI video of you walking out the movie theater with another woman, hugged up, kissing on another woman. You know what I mean? Make it seem like you cheating or whatever the case may be. They could do a whole lot of things. The best thing to do, listen, if you got a spouse, stay in the house. Stay right in the house. Honey, I was home. I don't know what that video is about. I was home at this time with you. Look on the camera. You understand? I don't know what that is. You know that's me in AI form, but that ain't me, hun. That ain't me. It's me, AI form, but it ain't me. You know? All right, what's up to Pamela? Shout out to you. What's up to Tasha? Jonas says, I never liked reality TV shows. Wow. Very interesting. That's the first time I heard somebody say that. All right. What's up to S. Rod? Shout out to you. We got a lot of deleted comments. Ah, man, they coming in with these crazy comments. Epic, you funny. M90 says, how to reply at someone's message on live. Someone replied to me. I don't know how to reply back to that person. What do you mean by reply? I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about at M90 replying back to somebody's message. You talking about a comment that you may have left on somebody's video? Henry Ross says, question, how do y'all deal with what's happening in with this country? How do I deal with it? I don't pay it no mind. You understand? I don't pay it no mind. You know what I mean? It is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. You understand? It doesn't matter if Donald Trump is saying this, Putin saying that, or whatever. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of foolishness going on in general. You know? I mean, it's cool to watch the news or whatever the case may be to kind of see what's going on, but I don't put my whole attention on that type of stuff because people go crazy over that. Did you hear about that? Did you hear about this? Ah, man. They start worrying. You know what I mean? Have you ever noticed that? When a certain story come out, people start worrying. A lot of people start worrying. Oh, man, I'm afraid. The economy's bad. The stock market's going to crash. I got to take all my money out. We got to go grocery shopping. We got to buy a lot of canned food. We got to store this stuff in the basement. Get 3 generators. Did you hear about that? Some people just overdo things. They really do. All right. You said they stock up on toilet paper. What's up to D&B? Shout out to you. You got that right. You got some wild trolls. There are some new faces. Yep. All right. Jinju says overzealous people. He says in the chat acting like they blind and don't watch certain shows. Even Stevie Wonder watches certain things and he can't see. He says hypocrites. Yeah, I don't really know too much what's out now. I don't. I know before, TV shows like Love and Hip Hop or Flavor of Love. I know some of y'all remember that, Flavor of Love and whatnot. You understand? And they had the other one with what is that? New York. The female from that show, Flavor of Love. She had her own show. Those shows I remember. All right, M90 says they made Geno Jennings into an AI look pictures. Yep, they do that. They had Geno of him crying, and I think the caption was his wife divorcing him. Somebody actually put that comment on Facebook. They said his wife is divorcing him. Well, you need to stop watching that foolishness and learn the difference between reality and AI things. And whatnot, because you got some people actually believe in those stories of those AIs and stuff like that, especially if somebody's not, computer savvy. You know what I mean? No disrespect, but like the older people, you know what I mean? And they see something like that, they most likely they're gonna believe it. Or somebody who's not computer savvy, they're gonna believe that AI stuff. Let me see where we at. Jim Juice says, what happened to Baptiste? I don't know. I don't know what happened to Peter Baptiste. I don't know. In fact, let me look him up. Let me see if I can find him on Facebook right quick. I think I blocked him though, because he was annoying. He kept messaging me and stuff like that. So let me check him out. Peter Baptiste. Let's see if he pop up. Yep, he must have made a new page. Yep, I see him. And two mutual friends. Wow. Who is that? 2 mutual friends. I ain't gonna say their names. I ain't gonna say their names and whatnot, but I don't know about that. Oh, he's still posting. And he's still so-called preaching too. Let's check. Let me see what this is about. He put something up August the 24th. Let me see.
These kind of principles that I'm gonna lay down here. Right from the Bible.
Right from the Bible.
Right from the Bible. I'm gonna lay down something.
Look like he picked up some weight though. Wow.
And show to you, and you must check church to see if it has these Bible principles. And if you don't have these Bible principles, you're in the wrong place. You see the false doctrine.
That's him. That's him right there. Man been eating good. That's enough of that. I gotta get away from that, man. Maybe go to this fella's page and check it out a bit. So he's still, you know, so-called up and running and whatnot. All right, M90 says, when I was a child, I used to hate news, but by now, as I am an adult, then I realized how important it was. As you know, many parents like to hear news. For sure. I'll get you on that one. You know, at M90. Bless says, I had a crush on Tyrese. What? Where'd that come from? Where did that come from? You had a crush on Tyrese. Listen, hey, we all human. We like what we like, or whatever the case may be. Listen, whoever y'all was attracted to before, you understand? Hey, that's on y'all. You know, if you was attracted to Sam Cassell, Retribution, Whoopi Goldberg, hey, that's on you. You understand? All right, what's up with Joshua? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Shout out to Jen Juice. All right. Span says, having a panic 2K mindset and 2025 is wild. Oh yeah, man. Oh man, I remember that time. Why 2K this and why 2K that? You know, folks is going crazy. The world is going to end. Crazy people. Why 2K this? I mean, the news media was going crazy with that one. People was running around. Gotta take my money out the bank. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. For what? If a person actually believes that the world is going to end, what are you taking your money out the bank for? What are you buying all this food, all these canned goods and whatnot? What are you doing that for? You understand? If you believe that the world is going to end, right? Some people are just stupid, honestly. You know? All right. Let me see. Where we at? I don't lost where I was at. What's up to Lorenzo? Shout out to you. Span says, not going to lie, in New York, I was hooked off her Jezebel spirit. Wow. Interesting. New York. What's up to, what is that, Mine Ballroom? Shout out to you. What's up to Roxanne? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Patrick T. You back. Patrick T is back. What is that? Kia? He says, beloved in the building, miracles and blessings, everyone. Miracles and blessings. Jinju says, you could do island impersonations. Span says, I can't believe I used to say on dead dogs growing up in Boston. On dead dogs. You know, young people in these days, mainly, they kind of say stuff like that. On the dead homies, on the dead lokes, on folk in them, those out there in Chicago. On folk in them, on BDs. That's on BD, gang. That's how they talk. You understand? That's how they talk. Everybody got their own style. Philly, LA, Chicago. You know, New York, Jersey. You know what I mean? You know? And some people blaspheme and say on God. If some of them knew how dangerous that was, to say. You know what I mean? They use God on that. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy work right there, man. Jen Juice says, not whoopee, shots fired. I mean, hey, you know. SV says, people probably thought we'd have flying cars by now. You got that right. Right now, they got the, what is that? The car drive by itself. The car drives by itself, and people actually trust a car to drive by itself. They had a video like that of a fella in the back of the car while I was driving by itself. You actually trust that car to drive you here, there, stop at the red lights, stop at an accident, speeding police cars, EMS cars, ambulance. Wow. They even got little robots delivering pizzas and whatnot back in my hometown of Jersey City. A little robot. You understand? What is this? What they trying to turn this into? The Jetsons? Huh? What's next? You know, Elon Musk, I think he put something up. Robots having babies or something like that. Or putting a baby in a robot. Idiots. Robot having a baby. What's next? What are they going to say? A robot can impregnate a woman? There's some foolish people out here. He got all that money. And he got the IQ of a peanut. All that money. Listen, fella, just sit back, enjoy your money. Simple as that. That's what I would do, man. If I had all that money, listen, I want to sit back, I want to stay out the way, and that's it. Now you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. You understand? It seems like all the things he's making is failing, except for them Tesla cars, I believe, right? Even those. All right. Epic says, I thought all the power was going to go out in reference to Y2K. Yo, y'all funny. Epic said, Tyrese, he says, though he's sensitive, but we love him. Tyrese. Pretty sure a lot of us watched Baby Boy before. You probably still watching it now. You can say you're in holiness, you read your Bible, you watch the truth of God and whatnot, but you remember Baby Boy. You remember that. You understand? Let me see where we at. Span says that word won't be tolerated. M90 said that's the works of technology. Patrick T said they have robot girlfriends in Japan. Robot girlfriends. A robot girlfriend. Really? That's crazy right there. A robot girlfriend. You see how stupid people are? Those type of people. A fella would stoop that low to get a robot girlfriend. Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of women out there who's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but it's some good ones out here. Some, no offense, some. They gotta stoop that low, man, to get a robot girlfriend. Wow, that's something. You know? All right. Let me see. He's laughing. Herbert Wise says, I'm 42. I can't see myself using that slang. Yeah, you got some older people using that. You got these rappers out here in their 50s talking like that. In their 50s, almost 60. Hanging on the corners. You understand? Talking like that. Foolish. Sagging their pants. You know? That's sad, man. Grandfathers out there on the corner. You know what I mean? Grandfathers. They should be sitting on the couch with their grandkids, eating peanuts, pistachios, having a nice cold Sprite, watching the game. They're out on the corners. You know what I mean? Out on the corners and whatnot. You know? All right. What's up to Tiffany Neely? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Patrick T says, when they came out in Japan 4 years ago, the birth rate, the relationship rate, and the marriage rate went down by 3%. The robot girlfriend talks to you and do the business. Wow. I know what you mean by do the business. A robot girlfriend. Ain't that something? He said, do the business. I don't know what's wrong with them fellas. You know what I mean? I don't know what's wrong with them fellas. You know? But as a real man, you know? Listen, I need that real female human skin. That real female scent. Not a robot. You know? He said evil business. A robot. This man said, do the business. You sure was studying up on that stuff, Patrick T. Robots. Man said, he said, do the business. All right? Gin Juice. You funny, man. What's up to Paulette? Henry Ross says, why always the corner? Because in the hood, that's what they do. On the corners, outside by the stores, you know, poppy stores and whatnot, Chinese stores, standing on the corner from sun up to sundown, just looking at cars pass by or women that pass by, talk to them, try to talk to every female that walk past by that look attractive to them. You know what I mean? So if you been to the hood or from the hood, you know, that's where it's at, right there on them corners. You know what I mean? They're standing out there, sun up to sundown, standing right there on them corners. You understand? All right? What's up to Shelly House? Shout out to you. Appreciate that. M90 says, those robots are not real people. How people fall for it? Stupidity. Ignorance. You know? Ignorance. You know what I mean? So, Patrick T, you spoke about robot girlfriends. So, on Google, it said Japanese robot girlfriends refer to the growing category of realistic AI-powered robotic companions, often designed with a human-like intended for companionship. Really? A robot? It says particularly for lonely individuals. So this is made for lonely. How folks feel lonely? Listen, go out there and talk. If you're an insecure guy, you feel lonely, listen, you got to man up. Then go out there and talk to a woman the proper way. Approach her the proper way. Lonely? All these women out here, you shy, you afraid to go, shoot your shot. You might get turned down, but hey, you'll live another day. Lonely individuals. It says, though their use and development are sparking debate. Wow. That's crazy. Patrick T, you done started something, man. All right, David B says, I saw a man today. He had to be in his 60s and he was sagging his pants. I was like, seriously, yeah? Yeah, out there, it's a sad thing. You know what I mean? Instead of, being a grandfather to their grandkids, that's what they rather do. You know what I mean? Try to fit in with those younger fellas. What's up to TNT? Shout out to you. Patrick T says they are coming out with a robot preacher. Please. A robot preacher. You know what? Listen, if they plug in holiness message to that robot, hey, fine. Fine. Listen, program that robot with holiness stuff. You understand? Listen, I might vouch for it. Might. I might. Over here, speaking holiness, you might be like, all right, this is all right. This is all right. Anything else? This is all right. All right, Epic says the phone and computer can be considered robots too. He said that's why they all on here. Interesting. M90 says maybe they're afraid of approaching women because many women are gold diggers. I mean, you could be right, because like I said on Google, those robots are mainly made for lonely individuals or men or whatever the case may be. And there's a lot of men out there who are afraid to approach women. You understand? They're scared of getting turned down or whatever the case may be. Hey, it happens. It happens. You understand? But if the preacher man is preaching on about finding a wife or how to find a wife and things like that, you gotta approach that woman. You gotta put in that work. You know what I mean? Some guys out there, I want a wife. I want this type of wife, that type of wife. Put in the work. You gotta approach that woman. You know what I mean? And don't approach her with scripture neither. Let me say that to all the brothers out there in the church. You understand? You're approaching a sister with scripture. You understand? Like, hey, how you doing? Is listen, that's just fine. Hey, how you doing, sister? Keep it moving. Check the temperature for next week. You know what I mean? And stop stalking sisters on social media too. Those who stalking sisters. You know what I mean? No need to stalk her. If she turned you down, leave her alone. If she didn't respond to you, leave her alone. You know what I mean? Simple as that. I'm pretty sure some brothers in here stalking sisters on here, stalking their Facebook, Instagram. Oh man, sister such and such is beautiful. Wow. She got a nice body. I know she dressing modest, but I can see all that. You inbox her. And you can see that she read it, but didn't respond to you. You gotta take that on the chin. It happens. It happens. Simple. You know? Simple as that. Simple as that. It used to happen to me at 15, you know, when you start talking to the girls and whatnot, you get shot down. Hey. You know? It's enough of that. People start going into relationships and whatnot. Phil says, you says can't approach women because I think I'm too ugly. Well, I mean, hey, man. If you, listen, I'm not going to talk about another man's looks because I don't care. But if somebody feels insecure about themselves, you never know. This woman over here may think different of you. You don't know that. You understand? In general, it's not all about the looks. It's a plus, but you just never know if a woman might find you attractive. You understand? All right? A lot of women don't just go for looks. A lot of women don't care about looks. You know what I mean? I want to go to this video for you. It's actually on my my Facebook. Let me see if we can play it for a bit. Is this it?
Come on, son.
Proverbs chapter 5, and we're at verse 20.
Follow me.
And why would thou, my son, be ravished?
Why would thou, my son, be ravished
with a strange woman?
Somebody you don't even know.
I know.
Look past the shape.
Oh, yes.
It's easy to find the shape that you like. That's easy.
That's
You can
right.
walk outside and just stand for a bus.
That's right.
Somebody gonna walk by that's built the way you like. Same way with a woman. It's easy to find a handsome man. All you gotta do is stand outside or go in the market.
That's right.
Somebody will walk by that's handsome to you.
Yeah.
I don't care how much Holy Ghost you got. Oh, I'm too holy to notice he handsome, you old liar.
That's a lie.
I'm telling that lie.
That's right.
That goes for you married folk too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm married. All men is ugly. Don't you just stop that lie. You over-righteous hypocrite.
That's right.
You see, I come tell you to your face, you're an over-righteous hypocrite. You're lying.
You're lying. That's right.
It's easy to find someone built the way you like.
Oh, yeah.
Easy to find a man that look attractive.
Oh, yeah.
That's easy.
That's easy.
What's hard is to find anything worthwhile that's on the inside.
That's it.
That's what's hard.
That's right.
That's right. There ain't no different than finding a car that got a good body,
Yeah.
but yet don't have the right engine that you want.
That's it right there, fella. For that individual who said that about their looks. All right, Christopher Spence says, imagine shooting a shot to AI and get gunned down. The world is sad. He said to an AI. That's funny. What's up to Charlotte Ann? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Let me see where we at. Patrick T says in Japan they work 12 hours a day and then they have to go drinking with their coworkers until 2 in the morning for 6 days a week. No time for a girlfriend. I never heard of that. Is that mandatory for them to do over there in Japan? Work a day, then they have to go drinking with their coworkers until 2 in the morning for 6 days a week? That's crazy. If that's true. M90 says, take your time, don't approach the wrong person to make as your wife, which is crazy. Absolutely. You know what I mean? All right, I read that one. All right, Patrick T says, if a robot catches catch the spirit and start speaking in tongues and running. You know what? I think that's the most on point thing you said in a while. Henry Ross. Oh, you talking to Aaron Michaels at Henry Ross? All right, what up to Jay Williams? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Jay Williams, you said, let me see. Get rid of that one. You says how to ask a woman and holding this out like I know how to come at a woman in the streets, but how do I say, hey, I like you and I want to take you out? Well, I'm not no Dr. Phil or nothing like that, you know. But hey, my thing is just be yourself. Just be yourself. You know what I mean? Here's the thing, like in the streets, it's just as basic. I know some of us in the hood and stuff like that, when we see a female walking, you're like, yo. You should be like, yo, shorty, mommy. Of course, don't talk to her. Of course, we older now and stuff like that. We're more mature, and things of that nature, for the most part. You know? And like I said before, I said this about 2 months ago, I think. I said this, and I didn't know. Nobody told me nothing at the time. Yeah, I mean, you just know that a brother is interested in a sister, right? Even in the chat rooms. You understand? Even in the temples and whatnot, you could tell. You understand? And I'm pretty sure she'll know. She'll pick up the vibes, and it's on you to inflate that. You know what I mean? For sure. He said to say, I like you. And want to take you out. Yeah, very funny. Wow. Let me see. Troll Breezy says, confidence overrides ugliness. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, you wrote. Jen Ju says, or bringing up scripture when your husband is getting ready to eat some cookies. He says, stop it. There's a season and time for everything, for speaking in tongues and for knocking boots. Don't be OTT. Well, yeah, there's some individuals out there like that, for sure. Patrick T says, Facebook dating practice. Well, I don't want to go into that stuff, man. I really don't. I don't really like going into that type of stuff and whatnot. I don't, but I do know I have to talk about this type of stuff. Being a YouTuber, with all this dating stuff, you know, it's like somebody just scratching the chalkboard. I can't stand talking about dating. I can't stand it, but I have to talk about it anyway. You know, and you talk about Facebook dating practices. Listen, the truth of God would never encourage that. They would never encourage to go on Facebook for dating, Christian mingle out there. What else they talk about? What is that? eHarmony or something like that? You know what I mean? For sure. Because you just listen, you just never know. You never know. You're going on these dating sites and whatnot. You don't even know if that's a real woman. You don't know that. You understand? For all the fellas know, you might be getting set up. You know what I mean? So I know for a fact that the truth of God is not going to endorse online dating. You know, you said Match.com. You go on all these websites and stuff like that. You think you're talking to a 35-year-old, you know, good-looking woman. Meanwhile, is a 60-year-old man. You understand? You think because you video her, all right, it's cool, it's her. It could be an AI, it could be set up. Don't be a fool. You understand? It could be a setup. He said, I'm a comedian. You don't know who it is. You understand? Oh man, that's a good looking woman on this online dating. Wow, I'm going to inbox her. Yeah, she might be a good looking woman in reality, but she might be crazy also. You know what I mean? You never know. You just never know with all that type of stuff. It could happen, of course, outside of the online dating. But guess what? At least you know that this is a woman right here. This is a whole woman right here. It's not somebody that got a picture up that's stating that they're 35, 36. Meanwhile, they're a 75-year-old pedophile or creep. You know what I mean? Imagine that, a fella on online dating, falling in love with a person who he think is a woman. Falling in love with her. Time passes by, I go meet up. It's George the mechanic. He's 75 years old. You understand? There's some women that have been unalived from that type of stuff. You know what I mean? They feel comfortable. Ah, man, he loved me. XYZ. I'm going to meet him. Set her right up. You understand? I do not encourage online dating at all. More safer to go try to talk to a sister. You understand? More safer. You know what I mean? Be careful out there. You're trying to endorse online dating, Mr. Patrick T. Online dating. That's the Church of Christ stuff right there. That's what they do over there, Church of Christ. That's what y'all do. You know, y'all talk to this woman that's probably named, you got her name, his name. You're trying to play like it's a woman, Melinda. You're talking to Melinda for 3 weeks. She telling you she love you. I love you, Poppy. Me that more. You're not key. Fool falling in love. Or what you think is a woman. You understand? Meanwhile, he's a senior citizen. About to check out. Online dating. Wow. Patrick T. Church of Christ. Church of Christ. You know? Be careful out there. Be careful. You understand? I do not encourage that. At all. You understand? All right. Jonas says a lot of shallow carnal-minded women for sure. Henry Ross, you wrote something. Where is it? All right, there you go. He says that's why you stay off them dating apps. Dating apps. Oh, they got apps. They got online sites. What's next? I think they got what else is out there? I forgot about. Man, I forgot. But they got a bunch of foolishness out there. Patrick T says it's real simple. He says you text him or her for a month. You talk. He says you talk on the phone for 2 months, and then you have your first date on the 3rd month. Real simple. Well, you're a fool for that one. Did you not understand what I said? Did you not understand what I said about online dating? You said it's real simple. You text him or her. You text what you think is a her. What you think is a her. You could talk to a person and they could be using a spoof voice. You have your first date on the 3rd month. Yeah, okay, you think it's a date. We don't, Truth of God don't endorse online dating. Church of Christ do. We don't. We don't. At all. Lorenzo says Patrick was doing so good at first. That's funny. How much time we got left? Couple more minutes. All right, SV says don't quote a bunch of scriptures to her. For sure. What's up to Lenny? Sky Plane says, how did you approach your wife? Who's my wife? I want to know who's my wife. Let me know. Tell me. You understand? Tell me. Now, if you're talking about the mother of my kids, or a woman when I was 15 or 16 years old, I can tell you about that. You understand? I can tell you about times I approach women. It's just a simple, hey, how you doing? Simple. When I was young, 15, 16 years old, hey, how you doing? Simple. What's your name? XYZ. How did I approach my wife? Wow. I wonder where you get that information from. What's her name? You know? What's her name? All right. EFP says they like all your pictures and call you nicknames. On social media. Epic says Fridays were made for relationship talk, right? No. No way, please. Man, I don't like relationship talk. What's up, Latoya? Shout out to you. Bless says, might get robbed or even worse, messing with those data. You're right about that. M90 says data sites is dangerous. Maybe they may meet a transformer who was a disguised as a which is crazy. True. Shelly House says my side hurts from laughing. Epic says I don't trust people face to face. I definitely don't trust the Facebook. Heard Wise says stop using dating apps before you end up with monkeypox. Jinju says, oh, you could be chatting to a 75-year-old spinster with no teeth from Africa. There's a lot of them up. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them up there. I think I've seen like a little documentary or YouTube video about that. Oh man, I lost where I was. Mr. Ham says catfishing so-called Christians. My thing is, if you are in holiness or if you're a Christian or whatever the case may be, and you're going on a dating site or whatnot, you're not going to be most likely run into, like-minded people. You know what I mean? Man, get out of here, Patrick T. Lenny says, I drive Uber and often have women and men ask about my relationship status, and I tell them I'm divorced and have been this way for years. Why do people always make the statement, God will send someone? Well, I can't answer that. That I can't answer. You know what I mean? I'm going to be real safe with that one. I don't know why people say that. I don't know. I can only go by what Proverbs 18 and 22 says. You know what I mean? That's it. I can't go by, what people say in reference to that at the end of the day. For sure. And one has to make a wise decision, when choosing that person or whatever the case may be. All right. What's up to say when? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. We got a couple of more minutes before we knock off. A few more minutes and we're going to close this thing out. I know we had a great conversation. Great conversation. Questions and answers. Questions and answers. Wow. Jim Juice said the trolls are wild tonight. You got that right. Man. Yeah. Epic says, do you think that people will experience R&B love ever again? I don't even know what that is. What is R&B love? I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. You understand? For folks who've been married 20, 30 years on here, if you are married, you ever heard of that? R&B love? What is that? All right. Peace, peace, peace at David B. Yeah, peace. That's classic love. I didn't know that. Honestly, you said that was an error? Oh, I didn't know. You know what I mean? Let's see where we at. What's up to Gladys? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Sylvia James says, you're too young. Well, hey, I'll be that. R&B love. What's up to Holly Jones? Shout out to you. SV says, R&B love, question mark. Is that walking around in the dessert singing like Jodeci in the old music videos? Wow. I think that's my cue to wrap things up. Oh man, this probably gonna put some people in the mood. They're gonna put their Jodeci on, Jaheim on, next, Blackstreet, Guy, Jesse Powell, R. Kelly, Maxwell, John B. You're gonna put people in the mood tonight. Oh man, I ain't hear the Isley Brothers in a long time. Wow. Between the Sheets. Oh man, that's my jam. What? What? What's up to Desiree Carter? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. And Desiree Carter. You says, I just praise God for saving my life. I had a massive blood clot in my lungs. And it's nothing but the blood of Jesus that kept me alive. The blood of Jesus. Uh-oh. You're going to get some people started with that one. You're going to get some people started with that one. Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, Jaheim, you can have anything. Or put that woman first. John B, don't listen to what people say. They don't know about. People going to start putting that on. Oh, man. What's up? What's up to Sky Plane? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. What's up to Justice Power? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Lorenzo. So this live is hitting tonight. I don't know what y'all had tonight or today. I don't know what y'all ate, what y'all drunk. You know what? It's Friday. It's payday for a lot of people. So I see why y'all like that. It's payday for a lot of people. Is that why? What's up, the Mercy? You know? Desiree Carter says, I was in the hospital. Let me see where we at. You said I was in a hospital for a month. Big sister will tell you, I want a godly relationship. You have to be godly. What are you referring to? What are you referring to? You want a godly relationship with who? Or are you just saying that in general? What's up to Joshua? Lorenzo says facts. He says payday. Jinju says payday and paying bills. Absolutely. Pay that rent. You know, that electricity. As you can see, all my lights is off except for this back one and this dollar store little lamp. Yeah, I mean, that's me. You know? What's up to Corinda? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Henry Ross says, can payday be Monday or Wednesday? Why Friday? I mean, hey, Friday is a common payday for a lot of people. It's just a common day for a lot of people. I mean, some people get paid on those days or whatever, but the common day is Friday that a lot of people get paid on. You know? All right, Desiree Carter says, if you want a godly relationship, marriage, live godly and put God first, and he will bring you the right one. Bring? I think somebody mentioned something like that earlier, and I said, listen, I can't answer that one. You know? Scott Plain said, how's C-Rock, your friend? Well, the last time I checked on him or talked to him, he was all right. You know? He was all right. You know, working. Things like that. Shout out to all the YouTubers out there. You know? Bless, you laughing. You're laughing. Jen Juice says, gotta pay God because I robbed him last month. You sure honest. All right, Corinda says, keep my lights off too. Only one lamp on. For sure. Save money. You know what I mean? Although I keep the central air running throughout the night. That's the only thing I really do. All right, Corinda says, my payday was yesterday. Money came and went. For a lot of us. You know, bills. You know, but it's a blessing to have a roof over our head and stuff like that for sure. And have food in the refrigerator, snacks, something to drink, nice clean house, nice clean place, and things like that. Because there's people out there that's in worse conditions than a lot of us. Some people don't have a place to stay. They're sleeping outside. They're sleeping under the overpasses and stuff like that. They're sleeping in the train stations and whatnot. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing. Even if you live in paycheck to paycheck, it's a blessing. If you're struggling, but you got a roof over your head, listen, that's good enough. That's good enough. For sure. All right, so we're about to wrap this thing up. You says how much you make from YouTube compared to work. I'm not answering that. I ain't answering that. You understand? I can't answer that. You know what I mean? Pocket watches. You got a lot of pocket watches on here. We ain't talking about people on here. You're talking about people who know you outside of YouTube. You know what I mean? So I'm not talking about you more so as Skyplane, but it's folks on the outside of YouTube that's watching probably. You know, cousins in them, aunties in them, uncle in them. They watch, they see, oh, he's a YouTuber, he's this, he's that. You understand? This is why I would never flash money over the internet. Never take pictures flashing money. Nothing. You know, folks get a new car, they post it on Facebook. I'm not doing that. I ain't telling nobody nothing. Nothing. I get an inheritance from a family member or something like that, or a will, or a big check coming out of nowhere. I ain't telling nobody. You understand? I'm going to be just like this. You know, put the same clothes on when I come on these lives and doing a video. You know what I mean? But if you are monetized on YouTube, YouTube gets a percentage. You understand? And Uncle Sam gets a percentage. So it all depends how your YouTube channel is. You understand? I mean, you could be getting 100 views off of a video and still, you know, it still could, it'd be decent. Because your YouTube channel could be, you know, ads prone, meaning it doesn't have a bunch of foolishness on it. You know, companies are not going to want to put, you know, their ads on foolish videos more so. You know what I mean? So this is why you may see a lot of people putting out a bunch of videos of foolishness. They may be having 1 million views. But you know, companies ain't stupid. They don't want that type of advertisement on there. You know? So it's up to you. If you want to do YouTube or any type of social media and whatnot, you got to put in the work. You got to make sure you have a positive channel and things like that. For the most part, I would never speak on how much I make. You understand that? Whatever businesses I have, whatever jobs I have, YouTube, or whatever the case may be, I won't speak on it. You know, not mainly because of, you know, who's on here. I'm talking about other people and other things and whatnot. You know, but it's a grind. You have to work. You have to put these videos out. You have to do live shorts. You know, if you could do Facebook, whatever. It's a lot of work. It's a lot at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And if you are getting paid from social media, whatever the case may be, listen, you deserve it. You put in the work. Hey, that's you. You deserve it. You know what I mean? You the one that's editing the videos. You the one that's talking. You the one that's making the thumbnails and everything. You the one that got to go over and if you mess up in a video, a pre-recorded video, you got to go back and do it over. You know how many times I had to do videos over and over again? You understand? Over and over, trying to say it the right way. That's work. You know what I mean? And then you got to upload it and edit it. Make sure it's on point. Make sure it's crispy and the volume is up. Certain static is out. Certain background noise is out. Put your texts on there. The transitions. You know what I mean? That's work. All right, we got to go. God bless to everybody out there. I'm Tony Harvin of the Tony Harvin Network YouTube channel. I hope everybody have a wonderful night. Peaceful sleep. I'm out, Lord willing. We'll be back tomorrow with some more good conversation. I'm out. Peace.